Starting right now. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul. You may have known me from my previous Corners of Controversy, which we have been initiating ourselves into slowly with the bloodletting and sacrifices and all. But past that, today we're going to talk about an amazing game called Red Dead Redemption 2. Some of you may have played it. Some of you might not have. If you have it, you should. If you're not going to, you suck. Or it's just not your taste of games, which in that case, it is what it is. You're probably not going to finish watching this, but at least click on it 5 or 6 times, share it with your friends, send us a check, give us your social, whatever works. But, anyways. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a shoot 'em up Western, first person, third person, cinematic movie, video game, cowboy simulator, horse murder, good time. Not that horse murder is a good time, but if you do commit horse murder, it's probably a good time to you. So, But anyways, so Red Dead Redemption 2. Quick synopsis. You're part of a group of ragtag bank robbers, crooks, thieves, prostitutes, money sharks, you name it, no good doers, all that jazz. You're on the run from the law because a job went bad on a ferry boat, and now everybody from a little town called Blackwater wants you dead, and that's where all your money is, so you're on the run. The game is just amazing. Story-wise, it is just fantastic from start to finish. Like, there's a lot of tangents and side quests and stuff you don't have to do, but they just really build up the world around that whole story. There's so much extra stuff to do in that fucking game. Like, you can literally go fishing for hours, or hunting for hours, or picking berries and sticks and herbs and all kind of ridiculous shit. It is literally a cowboy simulator, minus the Brokeback. But I'm sure there's a reference or two in there, because there's a reference to just about everything that's ever been Western. Man, where to start? So, the game starts out, it's like a scene from, The Hateful Eight. Like, it's this group of people running from the law through a blizzard in the mountains while everything's going to shit. Your people are freezing to death. You hide away in a little cabin, find another cabin where somebody's being fucking raided by other people, blah, blah, blah. All kinds of crazy shit that just happens right from the get-go. But, amazingly, throughout this game, there is this little setting called the cinematic camera setting, where it just cycles through these amazingly cinematic angles where you're like running through the mountains, and it is just like a beautifully shot scene from The Hateful Eight or any other, amazing Western movie. But it's going great until you get a little complacent and run off the side of a cliff with your horse, because horses in video games, no matter what video game, if it's Skyrim or I can't think of other games where you have horses as your steed offhand or your main source of conveyance, but they die way too easily, which is probably accurate to, what happens in real life when you run a horse off a cliff. But fuck, man, they die so easy. It's infuriating. They cost so much money, and they die. But at the end of the day, the horses are replaceable, as shitty as that sounds. But you build a fucking bond with those 4-legged freaks. But anyways, the game's amazing. I mean, you can switch from first to third person to like 3 or 4 other camera views. The gameplay is amazing. You've got to upkeep your weapons so they fire better and the accuracy's on point and all that jazz. You can customize the crap out of them with engravings, different woods, different varnishes. All kinds of stuff. You can get multiple gun belts and bandoliers, outfits, all kinds of stuff. It is an RPG minus the fact that it is a pre-made character, because you play as a guy named Arthur Morgan, who is a kind-hearted scumbag that you just end up loving or hating, or depending on how you play him, hate yourself for the things you make that man do. But shit, this game just has so much heart, I guess. Like, there's so many things that really just build the world around that game, because once you start playing, I get into all the side quests. Sometimes they're trivial and fucking stupid and monotonous, but there's always a little nugget of a story or a little bit of background of a character, or just something that just opens up that world a little more and just kind of pulls you out of the shit heap that this world is, because that's the whole reason we play games, is escapism. But like, there's a fucking mission where you gotta take this little annoying shit kid fishing, and it's annoying as hell, and you don't want to do it, but then the kid sobs about his dad and his family and blah blah blah, and you're just like, well, goddamn kid, yeah, let's go fishing, you need it. But then there's missions where you've got to go kill a bunch of people, or you find randomly the redneck inbreeding brother and sisters who, spoiler, will rape and try and kill you if you try and make a threesome happen. Not that I try to make a threesome happen, but it happened. Anyways, just play the game. There's inbred fun. Well, inbred things. Fun's not the word, unless you're into that. And hey, I don't judge. Yes, I do. But it's just an amazing game. Like, visually beautiful. Like, when you're riding through the fucking woods at night and you look up at the stars, and you are just, I'm blown away by the graphics. And I don't have a great TV. It's fine, don't get me wrong, but holy shit, this game is like playing a movie shot by like experts, but in video game format. I don't know, it's amazing. Like I said, there's so much random shit you can do in the game. You go hunting for hours. There's rare animals to go hunt, like the giant albino alligator or crocodile that literally took me forever to find and kill, and that thing was amazing. Like, fun as shit to go fake hunting. It was cool as fuck. Then there's deer, bighorn sheep, all kinds of animals you can hunt. Grizzly bears, which I'll talk, if I remember, we'll talk about another grizzly bear later on. But like, the bears in it, throughout the story, you get introduced to a bear in one of the story missions that is a legendary bear that you can go hunt down and kill. That is a gnarly, fucked up looking version of Scar from The Lion King, only a bear. If that makes sense. But it doesn't. Anyways, just awesome movie, or game. Feels like a movie. Feels like playing a movie. Oh, man. I really want to go home and play it now. Can we just stop this? Anyways, all right, let's finish this up. The end. All the time we have. Bye. Weapon customization is amazing. All kinds of guns. All of them are old. Some of them are historically accurate, but who gives a shit? One of my favorite movies of all time is Tombstone, and that movie just feels like it bled into this game so much, with just like some of the character relationships, some of the plot points, some of just like the fucking style that Doc Holliday oozes. Like, that movie is amazing. This game is the closest thing you'll ever get to be a cowboy, basically. It's a fun game, like, from start to finish. You can play it so many different ways. You can be a fucking scumbag and kill everybody and be wanted the entire time. You can be the nice guy and try and do good, but end up doing some really fucked up bad shit along the way, or stumbling upon some really fucked up bad shit along the way. Throughout this, I should have said spoiler at the very beginning, because I kind of ramble, which you've probably realized by now. But it's just good. The story is fulfilling. There's times where you kind of get stale with your current place or whatever, and then the next second you're in a fucking shootout, or you're blowing a wall out of a bank, or robbing a train, or taking the girls to go rob guys because they're prostitutes who don't put out and get beat around. So it's just like, oh, and the drinking montages in this game are fun as hell, except when everybody's face blurs into the other guy's face, and then you walk in on a couple having sex, but they both have the same face, and it's really weird. But man, the game just, I don't know. I've never been big on westerns and stuff like that. Besides Tombstone, that's like the extent of my love for Wild West. But this game just fucking drove me into it, and like, I want to go hop on a horse and ride into the sunset and go fucking shoot people. Fake shoot people in video games, not in real life. We had to put that in there, right, for legal reasons. Okay. All right. Anyways, but man, the game's fun. The story is, like I said, fulfilling. There's double crosses and turns and twists, and like I said earlier, depending on how you play the game, you can be a scumbag and only be out for the money. You can be the kind-hearted guy that tries to make sure that the best ending happens for everybody, even though it's a fucking bleak outlook for everybody involved. Near the end of the game, here's the fucking spoilers. There's a few different endings, along with a very drawn out, not in a bad way drawn out, but lengthy epilogue ending that kind of ties things up. But I'm assuming I got the bad ending because Arthur gets stabbed real fucking hard by Micah, that piece of shit. I fucking hate Micah. Oh man, if there was a way to just shoot him in the face in the beginning of the game, I would gladly die from tuberculosis than have that piece of shit live. Like, if you play the game, you understand my frustration. That guy is a goddamn scumbag. The only good thing he does is give you that second holster. That is it. Past that, should have been aborted, which back then would probably be like a donkey kick in the stomach from the doctor prescribed. But goddamn, that guy infuriates me. They made him such a good piece of shit. Love-hate relationship with that guy. Just, oh. I just really want to play the game and just shoot him in the face. I tried actually on my replay, and I just kept failing the mission. So you can't shoot Micah in the face early on in the game. Then after that, you become a farmer and watch John, his life kind of play out with however you want to continue to play the game. I played online when it first came out for PS4, and holy shit, that was a shit show. Like, just fire baptism after fire baptism. I couldn't get one horse theft done without 75 people like riding in on me and gang raping me with shotguns and Molotov cocktails. So that didn't last long because that was just infuriating. Recently though, I got it on Xbox and I've been playing the shit out of it online as much as I can squeeze in, and it is fun as hell. I've been doing a lot of the bounty hunter missions, which, back to my grizzly point earlier, one of the legendary bounty hunters is the Wolfman, which is this crazy looking hobo asshole who fucking has wolves, and you go out there, yeah, you know there's gonna be wolves, that's given. And then, when you're about to confront them, a fucking grizzly bear comes after you. Fuck the grizzly bears. But the bounty hunter missions are fun as shit. The most recent one I did, I had more trouble with alligators than I did with the other fucking henchmen. Those alligators are quick when you're not paying attention, or when they're fucking circling around you while you're getting shot, because you're looking for a guy, not something that's 2 foot off the ground biting you in half. Oh, man. The animals in the game, like, the fucking creature and animal team did an amazing job at, for one, making the animals look real and making them act real. Like, watching a video game possum do the possum trick where it plays dead and then runs the fuck off a minute later, like, that is amazing. The AI in it is just awesome. Getting mauled by cougars because you killed their prey that they were hunting while you were hunting their prey, not realizing there was a cougar 10 feet away from you, is an interesting thing to have happen. Like I said, there's all kinds of stuff in this game, from the incest murder couple to there's gnarly serial killer running around killing people, there's a vampire, there's just all kinds of crazy weird shit in this game. Awesome stuff. The ability to pick a direction and ride until you find something interesting is truly amazing to me. Like, I found, just in free roam, not online, just in the game, just going spot by spot, exploring all the little worlds and finding all the little things like signs of a Bigfoot, or the Viking burial ground where you get the fucking awesome Viking helmet and not tomahawk, you can get a tomahawk, but the Viking axe that is basically a one-hit kill. There's just so much in this game that makes it fun, and goddamn, like, Rockstar needs to do, instead of Red Dead Redemption, like Viking Dead Redemption next, where you're running around as a Viking, and just do that. Like, I want a Viking simulator for these guys to make. I think would be phenomenal. But Red Dead is definitely up there and just goddamn fun to play. Even if you don't like video games, play it for the cinematic value. Like, it is playing a movie. It is beautifully crafted. Like, I don't really have a negative thing to say about this game. Like, I just want to go play it. It's truly one of the most fulfilling games I've ever played, both in story-wise and just gameplay. It is fun. It pulls you into it. It really does. And when you, like, literally get attached to a fucking horse in a video game, especially when it dies all the fucking time, when it trips over a rock that's like this big, doesn't make sense, but you know, it is what it is. They need a god mode for the horse. That would be like the only improvement I could say to the game. The Deadeye, where it slows down, and that's fun, but I always forget about it. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a fucking amazing game. Online is fun. Originally, like I said, when I played on PS4, it was a shit show, and I think that mainly had to do with it was brand new. They didn't have too much to do, and everybody was just kind of being an asshole. I haven't run into that too much on Xbox, and I'm not saying Xbox is better than PlayStation. I'm not one of those guys. I don't care what system you play on. They're all great. They all have their advantages. Some are better than others. I don't care one way or the other. It's about the game. But playing online and that like year difference is drastically different. I haven't really had any issues since I've been playing online with people just coming out of the woodwork to just basically ruin your fucking time. The shootouts are fun. The one with the gold armor, Fool's Gold, is a fun one to play. Just run around trying to get the gold armor. It's almost like the golden gun from 007 back in the day. But I don't know. It's the community, I feel, has changed in the last year since it's been out, to actually like everybody realize that we're all here to have fun, and to just be an asshole that goes out to ruin somebody else's fucking time that's not called for. That's, again, one of the main reasons we all play video games, is to have a good time. Like, if you want to be the little high school bully shithead, by all means, that's your prerogative. You'll probably stay that way your whole life until a bigger bully beats the shit out of you in real life when a microphone's not involved. Unless it's, you know, somebody with a camera screaming, "Oh shit," and putting it on World Star, which is just funny. Those videos are hilarious. But I don't know what else to say, guys. Like, Red Dead Redemption, it is a fun game. Rockstar knocked it out of the fucking park. It is, like I said, it's fun to play. If you're playing online and haven't played the story, you're severely doing yourself a disservice. And I love RPGs. I love building a character, but the character that they built with Arthur and the choices that you can make throughout it are amazing. And you really, like I said, you feel for just about every character in the game. You watch your leader Dutch go from being never kind-hearted. He's always, pretty involved in the bottom line, but he does at the beginning genuinely care about his people. But you just slowly see his like descent into madness when it's just all about the money and the next job and the next line and blah blah blah. But you also see how Micah really just has his tongue in his ear, just telling him and, not corrupting him, but just doing that whole fucking Star Wars, lead you down the darker path, choose the low road, kind of all the wrong options when you need to choose the right ones. And Dutch falls for it time and again, and the whole time Arthur's trying to tell him, you're fucking up. And it just causes so much like pain and anguish and heartache for all the other people involved in your little hodgepodge family. Some of my favorite characters throughout the game and the story, you like really build a bond with, and you just see them die and you're just like, fuck, that sucks. Some of my favorite characters ended up, being the saving grace at the end of the game. Some of them died. Arthur, there's no way to save him. Everybody's like, not everybody, there's a few videos on YouTube where they say there's a miracle cure and this, that, and the other, but from everything I've read and tried, you can't fucking save him. You get tuberculosis, you get stabbed or shot in the head. Like, Arthur, much love, but fuck. You dead. He dead. But if I replay it, he never dies until I get to the ending, and then I gotta replay it again. But playing online is fun. And that's the cool thing about playing online. There's a ton of characters that are online that go into the story. And it's really cool to kind of see how they continue that world along with all the side quests and bounty hunter missions and just random strangers you can go work for. End up having some tie-in with either Arthur or the gang or, the Pinkertons or this, that, or the other. So... But I don't know. I've rambled enough. You're probably tired of me. It happens. But check out Red Dead. It's a blast. It's fun. This is the first episode of the new year, going into 2020. Like I think I might have said, we've got some new partnerships and some new things in the works and some things that we're trying to make better. We're always trying to improve things here at Devious Eye. And going into this year, we're going to get this chair oiled. I wanted it to be a good one that time. There we go. Anyways, we're going to get oil for this chair. We're going to get a Kickstarter for it. We need $10,000 to get this chair oiled, so this doesn't happen anymore, because I know that's ruining the entire video for you guys. So we'll get that Kickstarter up and all the information out there. But, we want to thank our new partners, Razer and Microsoft, for the gear and gadgets and supplies of energy drinks and all that stuff that we're just mainlining, or at least I am. But past that, guys, stay devious. I'm Paul. It's been controversial. Fuck off. Just kidding. Cut.